Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited to make this video. People have been asking me, when are you going to make a video showing all the stuff you bought at the Fest for Beatles Fans? Well, I promise you, it's a good amount of interesting stuff. Memorabilia, records, autographs, all kinds of things like that. But I can't get to that for a while yet. It's going to be several days, but just hang in there. I'll be making it. In the meantime, I've been thinking back, afterthoughts, reflections on what this past weekend's Fest for Beatles Fans 2019 was like. And I think I'll just talk a little about that here. And the people that I met, some of you out there that watch the channel, and some people who are on the panels and who run the show, and things like that. So, first of all, we have Mark Lapidus to thank for this. Mark Lapidus and family, there is a shot there. Keep it up, Mark. And they've been doing this for, 45 years now. Time marches on, and Mark, I really hope we got at least 50 fests. It'd be good to. I don't want to pressure you if you're watching, but I really would love to be able to say I went to the Fest for Beatles Fans 50. You know, that would be 50 years. That would be amazing. And Mark is always nice to talk to, but you can't always grab him. I mean, I know over the years I've tried to say hello, and he's a very busy man. He's got so much on his plate. He's running back and forth, taking care of making this place work and run as smoothly as he can. I was very fortunate 2 years ago. If you watch my 2017 video that I did of the fest, I actually got Mark on the side. We were able to talk a little bit, and I really appreciate that. Also, got to talk and to meet a little bit Al Sussman, who has been around for a long time and doing this. And, you know, he's also responsible for a lot of what goes into the fest, and hi, Al. And it was good to see him again. There's so many people that I met. I don't know where to begin. I have some here. Kit O'Toole. It was so good to be able to meet her, even though I've seen her before. I never really talked to her, so now I have. Kit O'Toole does a show with Ken Michaels and Ken Womack, and also Tom Hunyadi, who couldn't make it, this time. Show called Talk More Talk, and it's a live show on Facebook. They try to do it every second Monday, and I think they're on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is. And you just watch Facebook, look for it, and it's a good show where you're actually able to participate and leave comments and interact by writing questions and things like that. It's a lot of fun, so look for that. But Kit's just great, and Ken Michaels I've talked to before. It's always a pleasure to talk to Ken, because Ken and I both share a love for the solo Beatles. Sometimes we're even more into that, it seems, than the Beatles. We love the Beatles, but I always love talking with anybody who appreciates the fact that the Beatles didn't end in 1970, or let's say 1976. It went beyond that and still goes on. And I got to give a special shout out to Tom Frangione. Tom Frangione does the trivia contest, and he does the game Name That Tune. And every year, that is absolutely my personal favorite. It is. He always asks contestants, well, what's your favorite part of the fest? And people sometimes say other things. I'm not lying when I say that I enjoy that. You know, I always participate every year if he'll pick me. You know, it's like Monty Hall. Pick me, Monty, pick me, and you get to play. And Tom's a lot of fun. He keeps it, light. He's funny, humorous, and I appreciate it. Tom is on Sirius XM. They have a show called the Fab Forum, and it's a talk show where Tom is on there as, I believe his title is Resident Beatles Expert. And check that out, okay, on the Beatles channel on Sirius XM. And, it was good. I got to talk to Tom, like, away from all the chaos and creation, later on, Sunday, like later Sunday night, we were walking in the hall, and we met up and we talked. And I really enjoyed doing, like, on the side, trivia with him other than Beatles trivia. In fact, he asked me some Odd Couple trivia. He had 3 questions. I won't share them here. I'll let him save them. 3 questions, the answers I won't. That is, the question was, there supposedly are 3 references to the Beatles in the Odd Couple TV show. And what are they? He said, he talked to an author, I forget his name, who did an Odd Couple book, and even he couldn't get them. I got all 3. I mean, that's how much, I love the Odd Couple and the Beatles. So that was a lot of fun. Okay. Among things that I enjoyed at the fest this year, I got to meet Jack Douglas, the record producer of different artists, but particularly for my interest, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, and worked on Imagine and also Double Fantasy, of course. Denny Lane, who I met before, and Lawrence Juber, who I met before, Steve Holly, who I met before, the Wingsmen, the three of them reunited yet again as Wings members, and it was so great to see them on stage doing the Back to the Egg album. They didn't do the whole album, they did a lot of the songs on it, and I was just in paradise and thrilled because Back to the Egg is one of my all-time favorite Paul McCartney albums, and in particular, Wings albums. So I have a real fondness for that album, and I'm hoping there's going to be an archive set that's supposed to be next, and I'm hoping that it may get a reappraisal because it's been kind of forgotten there, just along the lines of the way McCartney 2 had new life when that came out on the archives. I so too hope Back to the Egg will, if that becomes a reality. It was great to see them perform that. Mark Rivera joined them on stage for the Rockestra theme, which was a real treat. Terrific. And also Alan White, who drummed for Yes. And also for me, I love his drum work on Instant Karma. I'm working with John Lennon and such. So to meet Alan White was a treat as well. Now, one thing I really love lately about going to the fest is there's a lot of people who watch my channel. And they say, hello, please, I can't ask you. If you watch the channel and you see me there, please say hi. I don't bite. At the fest, it's always good. And so many people came up to me. They wanted to take pictures. It was really great. And some people I knew, I always ask you, I know you by your name in the comments? And a lot of people, I knew their names because they comment on the videos. But there were a number of people, quite a number of people that I didn't know that they watch, but they don't usually comment. And that was great. And I think among them were, I think, I could be wrong, but Steve and Karen. It was great to meet them. And Jeff, who goes by the name of Record Rabbit, sometimes in the comments and live chats that I do. Brother Bob, 1984, real sweet guy, was there. I met Rich, known as Wink55. That was fun. Brian, who was always talking about his band that I'll talk about hopefully as the date comes closer, where he's going to be playing a gig in Staten Island for those who can make it. Santos goes by the name of Santos One. And Amber, there was a new person that she's in the video also, a young lady who actually liked the Monkees first and then thought the Beatles were actually copying the Monkees when she saw Help. It's a story she tells in my video. It's really, really cute story. So thank you to all of you. And I'm sorry if anybody who I forgot. I'm sure there's a lot of people I forgot. A lot of people were saying hello and coming up to me. I love it. But I love it. I love it. And there's a really unfortunate story that I have that I want to share with you. Unfortunately, there was a wonderful lady. She was so happy to see me. She had brought with her a shopping bag with some gifts in it, a red shopping bag. And she handed me this red shopping bag, and she was so nice and so pleasant. And I was touched by the gifts. I really was. And I took this shopping bag with me. I had the red shopping bag, but I also had a green bag. And the story is that I kind of went into the dealer's room, and I kind of, at one point, when you're doing the fest, there's so much going on at the same time, you can't really concentrate, and sometimes you get sidetracked. And I actually put both bags down. And when I went to leave, I accidentally picked up the green bag and left her red shopping bag there. And I was mortified. I really was, because I was so touched by the nice gesture on her part, that I ran back up to the dealer's room. I discovered this about 20 minutes, a half hour afterwards. I didn't have the bag. And by that time, it was gone. So I went over to the table in the dealer's room. I said, did you see a red bag here? And the guy said, some lady came and said she left the bag here. She took it. He said, was it yours? I said, yeah, it was mine. He said, well, maybe you had another red bag. Maybe, the guy says, the dealer says, maybe two red bags are missing. Yeah, what are the chances of two red bags missing in a 20-minute interval? I don't think so. But nevertheless, I was so upset. So anyway, that was not too good. I had a problem with that two or three times. That was on Saturday, a very hectic day. I kind of a couple of times I forgot a bag and had to go back. Don't let that happen, folks. Try to remember it, carrying the bags with you, But I'm sorry about that woman. But believe me, the memory of that will always touch me, and I appreciate that very much. Well, I guess it's time to talk about some of the people that are on YouTube here, and some friends of mine. One of them is Benjamin. He goes by the name of Camera Sparks. He's a young man that plays trivia a lot, and he beat me one year. I rarely won, but if you look at the video from a couple of years ago, but I buzzed in too fast before the whole question was read. But you you won fair and square, Benjamin. Camera Sparks is his name on YouTube. Also, Nick, there was a very young guy. You can see him in if you look at the what do you call it? The Beatlefest video, the Fest for Beatles Fans official video I made. Nick is in there and he's playing along with me with trivia, and he's really good. This young man knows a lot of stuff, and I was very impressed that he's actually a Paul McCartney fan. His favorite thing is listen to Paul's solo, which is really amazing, and he knew all the answers to that stuff. Alan C. Records, who I'm developing a strong friendship with. Hi, Alan. Alan did me a real solid favor. You might know the saga of me trying to get the Egypt Station display from Barnes & Noble. I couldn't get it. It was impossible. Everybody would either junk it or wouldn't give it to me. Finally, I managed to locate just the bottom. I was missing the backing board with Paul's face on it. One store gave me the bottom, and I said, I need the back. I need the top. Well, Alan informed me through I think my live chats that he has a top for me. And sure enough, the good man delivered. So it was great seeing Alan. Then you can, of course, Beatle Vinyl 85, Marvin. Hello, Marvin. I've seen Marvin quite a few times now. We've met. Always great to see Marv there. Matthew Street, my good friend, who I've met a few times also. He's come to town here. He hung out here. It's so great to see him, and his son Chris was there. And I'm going to save Beatle Brad for last, because Beatle Brad went all 3 days, like me, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I have developed such a closeness with him and his wonderful wife. And my girlfriend is friendly with his wife too. The four of us, I think, make a really good double couple as for hanging out, and we like to see a lot more of them. We had such a good time, and that leads me to think that, I understand it's very expensive to go to the fest, especially for 3 days. I went for 3 days. Going for one is even expensive, but if you go for 1 day, it's really hard to see everything, and it's very hard to in this case, associate with everybody. We had like all these friends together, but it's hard to give this guy the attention, that one, this one, everybody give the equal attention. You're trying to talk to everybody, hang with everybody, but at the same time, you don't want to miss anything going on at the fest. You want to go to autograph sessions, panel discussions, music performances, and in just a few hours of 1 day, it can't be done. I just hope that a lot of people will really consider coming to the Fest for Beatles Fans. Having one in Chicago, they have one every year in Chicago too. I wish I could go to that one. One day I really will. I almost forgot. Oh, geez, I hope he's listening. Astros Jer. Almost forgot him. Jeremy, how you doing, buddy? He's a good guy too, a friend of mine that I'm really enjoying talking to a lot. And he always comments on my channel. You almost missed him. But you really need 3 days or 2 days. And it was so great because after the fest was over and Monday morning, Brad and his wife were going home, and my girlfriend and I were going home. We spent Monday morning, after all the loudness and chaos of the fest, we sat together to have breakfast down in the hotel with the buffet. I spent 2 hours there seeing them off on their way home, and it was really, really wonderful. I had such a great time. But like I said, the thing about the fest is it can get pricey. I would suggest, please everybody, try to go, this year in Chicago or next year. People I want to meet in Chicago. Mark P. I want to meet. I want to meet Rachel's Records. I want to meet Christine Summer, Tom, Mr. Beatles Pro, and I'm sorry anybody else I'm forgetting, but they're all in Chicago. They usually go there. Or anybody who could come here. Tim Allen. Tim, please. Tim Allen, I want to meet so much. Save your pennies now. The next fest here in the Jersey one is March 27th, 28th, and 29th. Just about a year away. You have a whole year to save. I think I covered it all. So good to see my dear friends at the fest. I love it. That's the highlight to me. That's what it's all about. You know, it's great to do other things, but it's now the what you might call the camaraderie and the socializing together that I really like most, amidst the backdrop of Beatles. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you there next time.